Quick message to all our viewers before we get started on today's video. It has come to our attention that over 90% of our regular viewers are not subscribed to the channel. We request you to please click the subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can be notified when the next video from Mythology is out. The bigger the channel gets, the better the quality of videos that we do for you also gets. So please help us make some amazing videos by supporting the channel and clicking that subscribe button. Thank you. Now over to the video. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mythology with your host Nitin Nair. Today we have thought that we'll try something different. We've always addressed different mythologies and the different characters in it, and we've always pointed out when we felt that there were characters that were too similar to actually have separate instances of them being discussed under various mythologies. We've decided to take a small change in our pattern and look at two distinct characters that have equivalents in multiple mythologies. Now, we are not looking for broad outlines or broad similarities that we can try and club them with. We are looking for ones that are specific, extremely identifiable, and also acknowledged by researchers and experts everywhere. The first of the two that we are looking at is the Sphinx. Now, the Sphinx is a character that is prominent in two mythologies from around the world. One is the Greek mythology, and the second one is the more popular Egyptian mythology. Although we really don't know which one actually originated the concept of the Sphinx, but we do know that it has been transferred or shared by these two mythologies and these two civilizations in the past. As part of this journey to look at similar characters, we will be looking at the Egyptian Sphinx today. The first sphinxes were made by the Egyptians and were usually equipped with a nemes, which is a headdress worn by Egyptians at that time. Some examples of these are sphinxes that have human faces but surrounded by lion's mane, and in the New Kingdom, the head was often represented by a ram. The exact time that the first sphinx was created is not known. The most famous one is the Great Sphinx of Giza, which dates back to the region of Shops around 2500 BCE. In the 18th dynasty, during a hunting expedition, the Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose IV fell asleep in the shadow of the Great Sphinx. He woke up and declared that the statue had spoken to him and that he was going to become the king if he could clear the sand around its feet. During the reign of Shepren, the number of sphinxes became more widespread. They were usually placed near a tomb, a mortuary temple, or a funerary monument. In Egyptian mythology, the Sphinx can sometimes be depicted with a woman's face. One of the most famous examples is a statue of Queen Hetepheres II of Egypt, which dates back to around 2700 to 2500 BC. The Sphinx was also adorned with a royal headdress, which was worn by the pharaohs. The Sphinx is different from other Egyptian deities in that it has both a human head and an animal body, which is unusual since most of the other major deities have animal heads and human bodies. One possible explanation is that it's the statue's depiction of Leo, which is the constellation of the lion. Many pharaohs had their heads carved atop the guardian statues for their tombs to show their close relationship with the powerful solar deity Sekhmet, a lioness. What the Egyptians called the Sphinx was never recorded, and the word in use today of Sphinx is a derivative of what the Greeks called their version of this hybrid creature. The Sphinx was built to protect the royal family, and it was usually placed near the royal burial sites and temple entrances. The statue was associated with Ra, who was the sun god and the godly father of the pharaoh. Ra's power was a key component of the pharaoh's reign. The Sphinx was also used to defend against literal forces of darkness and evil. The tradition of making and displaying sphinxes continued in various kingdoms. According to the Egyptians, the statue was meant to represent their solar deity or sun god. Historical records show that in the New Kingdom, the Sphinx was also a representation of Horemheb, or the Horus of the horizon. The Great Sphinx at Pyramids of Giza is one of the most popular tourist spots in the world and have also spurred many investigations as to the various inconsistencies that researchers and archaeologists have pointed out over the years. This includes a disproportionate head of the Sphinx with respect to the rest of the body. However, apart from the Great Sphinx at Giza, Egypt is home to many other versions of the Sphinx, making it a symbol of ancient times. This symbolism has spread across Europe and Asia and is one of the most popular hybrid characters in the world, with multiple mythologies and cultures laying claim to it. In modern times, people tend to confuse stories of the Greek Sphinx with the Egyptian version, leading to incorrect renditions of the history of the creature. As you can see, there are many stories that we have associated with the Sphinx, especially the Egyptian one, which might not be true because of the fact that it was actually attributed to the Sphinx from the Greek or from other parts of the world. Many have claimed that Napoleon was responsible for destruction of the nose on the Sphinx, and many other stories regarding a secret passageway under the Sphinx which leads to the Great Pyramid at Giza, and also different stories about how it is full of treasures and other secrets that it may hold. Many researchers out there are still continuing their research with the Egyptian Sphinx and are yet to reach any formal conclusion. The discovery and exploration of the Sphinx and its secrets will go on over the years, and we at Mythlook will be watching it very closely to update you on what's happening in that part of the world as the science and technology develops with every passing year. In our next episode, we will be looking at the Greek Sphinx to try and compare how the two stack up against each other. Thank you very much for tuning into an episode of Mythlook. Until next time, drop us a like, a subscribe, or a comment, give us some feedback, or better still, tell your family and friends about Mythlook and the journey that we are on, and that we wholeheartedly invite them to be part of too. This is your host Nitin Nair, signing out by reminding you once again that Mythlook is the home of mythology.